Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o see them yopo.
Mema wakwaba e de ba PENDREAM TV so make sure say obe subscribe to channel no click bell so say the news to our sabit me aka ntem no watie afa so make sure say obe like na wa comment no share ama afoforo so nsaka na comment section ho so no opese wo kire wadwen obetimi e de wadwen kire ato honom na amanfo so anya bia kenkan na onim say PENDREAM TV there eye nsem a ekoso Ghana yam politics mu ne de ba na yasaka ya ne de abranti na so me video I saka pese no che na ye de ba nti me mo modern astro so obehwe video we amana si awie na wa kire wa adwen e comment section na se yenko video.
Randy, as for the choice of Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Napo as the running mate of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I'll say like we were deceived when we were redenominating our city, that the value is the same. I mean, I wonder the impact that it's going to make on the fortunes of the New Patriotic Party come December 7. We say Dukadaya in Hausa. I mean, you have a floundering, flag bearer, and you have a notoriously arrogant and disrespectful running mate. That is if it is finally confirmed. I don't doubt the sources that have published the news so far, but I'm just curious that no official or formal source.
I think it's because the due process has not been completed.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't underestimate or doubt the sources so far, but I'm curious that no official source has made a comment on it yet. And I just hope that they will fast track whatever consultation process they have to undertake and announce the name.
Are you aware of when the National Council will meet?
I'm not aware.
Okay.
Yeah, and announce the name. I mean, for me, like I said, it's not going to change anything that much because Napo is known. He's been in our politics for a very long time. And unlike his opposite number in the NDC, if he is finally confirmed, he's not been without scandals. I mean, the running mate of the NDC, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, occupied the education ministry, left the ministry squeaky clean, without any controversy or any strong scandal about her, work there as Minister of Education. On the other hand, Napo's tenure is replete with scandals that are yet to be properly investigated and concluded upon. And you just made reference to one, where even within the same party, the blame shifting was apparent in the struggle to be nominated as the running mate. So the schools were supposed to be provided with internet services, contracts signed, payments made, and yet no internet is being provided in these schools. And I remember the last time I was on this set when we discussed the report, which revealed, that the students were shortchanged. The school administration did not have the internet that they were supposed to have and all of that. And yet the company that is supposed to have provided this service got paid fully. And that's just one of many, many scandals in just one ministry that he has occupied in the last 6 years or so. So it's going to be quite interesting. I mean, if you go to the education ministry, we have the mathematical sets, contracts scandal, which has not been thoroughly investigated and settled yet. The BNI picking up some people and home arrests and all that. It hasn't been settled properly, and that was under his watch. Then you talk about training of 40,000 teachers by the World Bank, which was supposed to have cost us $1.2 million. That, was not done, but the monies spent. Again, you have a uniforms contract. In fact, that has not even hit the headlines that much yet, which was also under his supervision as education minister. So as for Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the fact that he is well known, it's going to add very little to the floundering campaign of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And like I said, he is known as somebody associated with these scandals that we will go into further when the announcement is formally made. That is only in the education ministry. I have not even gone to the energy ministry yet. And putting him up against another former minister, same ministry, without any record of a scandal, is going to be a mismatch. And that is why I maintain that his choice is, like we say in Hausa, Dukadaya. I mean, he and his flag bearer are all not going to bring any spark, to the failing campaign of the New Patriotic Party as far as this year's general election is concerned. I have nothing personally against Napo. I did not, have a favorite in the contest for running mate slot within the NPP because I did not see how any choice was going to change the price of Kenke that is now being sold in some cases at 7 cedis per ball. I did not see how the choice of anybody was going to improve the dollar. I mean, the cedi against the dollar. I did not see how any of them, the choice of any of them was going to improve the strength of the cedi against the dollar, which is now exchanging about 15 Ghana cedis to a dollar. I did not see how any of them was going to improve upon the inflation that is not only in the books, but that is felt on the market on a daily basis. The price of tomato, the price of pepper, the price of gari, and all of that. I don't see how any choice of a running mate will significantly impact the devastation that our senior high schools are faced with as a result of mismanagement and neglect by the authorities that be, even to a point where when we are approaching BEC exams, we are unsure whether we will postpone the date or will maintain the date because we owe WAEC. And in fact, I was scandalized when I got a letter from my director of education, my district director of education, requesting me to fund or to help fund BEC exams as a member of parliament. And I was like, what has happened to the allocations that are usually made for these exercises? No, in fact, later we're told that that's when they were contemplating whether to postpone the exams or not. The directors were asked to seek help from philanthropic organizations and other individuals who were willing to support them. I mean, scandalous, but that's where we are, and I don't see how the choice of anyone as running mate to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to improve that or change that reality that we are faced with. And I have said it on this platform, Randy, and I'll repeat it again, that as much as the tolerance level of the people of Ghana, especially the youth, can sometimes be very frustrating, I think it is commendable, especially because of what we are seeing or hearing from Kenya. I mean, some of the things that we have tolerated as a people in this country cannot, be compared to the things that the youth of Kenya have refused to tolerate. In fact, the things we have tolerated pale into insignificance if you look at the reasons why the youth of Kenya, besieged their parliament and have refused to leave the streets in some cases. But I am hopeful that our restraint is based on our hope that we have an opportunity come December to rescue our nation and to put it back on the track of growth and progress. That is, I believe, the reason why our youth and our young people are quite restrained. And I hope that the anger, the disappointment, the dejection, the hopelessness will all be channeled into the December elections that will cause the change that we need to spur the growth of this country and the rebuilding of this country. But I repeat that as for Napo, he is a man who has died in the market, like ABF Hussein will say. And so his funeral needs no announcement. It was always expected that he was going to eventually be named, given the quarters from where his support emerged. I mean, we, for example, were told that Manshia, was strongly in support of his candidature. And I mean, like dog who has abandoned data and dwelling on instinct, watching the developments, my instincts based on the support that I was seeing emerge from Manshia, convinced me that he was always going to be the possible running mate. But like I have said, no impact, no significant impact. Dukadaya, the value is the same. He is a known commodity. He is arrogant. He is disrespectful. And the verdict is out there. I mean, when we asked for a Dumsor timetable, he first of all told us all to go do our own Dumsor timetable if we so cared about it. He couldn't give a toss as to how we were impacted negatively by the power situation. We could all go skewing our pig-headedness for all he cared. I mean, for him, he was enjoying his largesse as minister, and he didn't have a time to provide us with a timetable. And if we cared that much, we could go do our own timetable, only for him to come back later to insult our intelligence by telling us that, oh, it's not Dumsor, it's actually Dumsiesie. You don't understand what we are taking you through. I mean, that is Napo for you. And this is just one of many. In fact, when there was the sea defense project at Keita, you remember, and government, the people of Keita, the MP and others complained and requested government intervention. You recall what he said, the tidal waves. You recall what he said. In fact, he pledged at the time that if government made any allocation for that project, he was going to demonstrate in this country. True to his words, the project is still, abandoned, as if the people of Keita and Volta region do not pay taxes or they do not belong to Ghana. He took, for want of a better word, we'll call it bigotry, to that level where he pledged publicly that if any allocation was made to that project that was aimed at helping people affected by tidal wave, he was going to demonstrate, against his own government. And maybe he knows where he went and what he did. Because as a result of that threat, as we speak, no allocation has ever been made for that project. And so the people of Keita still are at the mercy of these tidal waves. And as for the scandals, like I said, we will wait for the formal announcement so we can go into the mathematical set scandal at the Education Ministry. We'll go into the uniforms scandal. We'll go into the training of 40,000 teachers scandal that cost us about $1.2 million. We'll go into the internet that were to be provided senior high schools, for which full payment has been made, but we have nothing to show. And then Eka Energy and others will all come up. But for now, we will await the formal announcement and hope that Doc and Co will be preparing to respond to some of these issues, especially given the fact that he's going up against another person who has served in a similar ministry, the Ministry of Education, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, and came out squeaky clean, remains very respectable in society, has remained very humble, and has endeared herself not only to the people of Ghana but even people in the international community. So it's going to be some exciting days when he is formally announced as the running mate to the floundering flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yes, sir.